American South. He's always there, fighting for freedom over land and air. G.I. Joe! G.I. Joe is there.
Hello everybody, Good Morning Mac here. Welcome to Saturday Morning Cartoons. Yes, we are back to G.I. Joe, and it's a little bit of a cheat because it's not really a cartoon, is it? It's a movie. It's Snake Eyes G.I. Joe Origins, G.I. Joe Classified Series, Scarlett. This is the last one that I had ordered. There's still one more figure, Akiko. I forget honestly what her name is. I didn't order her, but I'm probably going to end up getting her anyway just because it's the last one to finish off the line. But I did order Scarlett. I ordered Scarlett, Storm Shadow, and Baroness. Scarlett was the last one that Hasbro had to ship, and I just got it today being the time of this recording. And I picked up Snake Eyes, so I might as well get Akiko. But for now, we have Scarlett here. And I kind of have high hopes for this figure, because I'm hoping that this looks better than the Classified Series Scarlett that we got, because I'm hoping this is going to be, for now, my main display Scarlett, until we probably eventually get a third version of Scarlett that's the one that we've been wanting. Now, with this, we have the Classified Series movie box, where it's predominantly black. You have the artwork of Scarlett, the likeness of the actress. I don't know what her name was, right here. You have more on the side, and this actually looks really good. On the back, you just have Snake Eyes G.I. Joe Origins, the dragon tapestry. On the side, you have their file card system. And up front, with this window box, this is what I mean by the movie figures, for some reason, especially compared to the standard classified figures, really short us on accessories. Look how empty this box looks. All you get with Scarlett is this pistol grip crossbow. She doesn't have a quiver, she doesn't have any knives, she doesn't have anything except this crossbow. We'll take a look at it when we get this open, but I really feel like they could have put more in here. Up top, number 20, the Articulation logo, window to let the light in. So, without further ado, let's not dwell on the packaging, let's just get this open, and we will take a look at Snake Eyes G.I. Joe Origins, G.I. Joe Classified Series, Scarlett. Okay, friends, here she is, Scarlett out of the box, and I gotta tell you, I feel like so far, and I do know that there's one more figure to look at, but I feel like so far, this is my favorite of the movie line, Scarlett right here. So let's put the tape measure to her, we'll see how she measures up. And she comes in at just under 6 inches tall. So she is the same size as the typical female figures for Hasbro. That she's not quite at the 6-inch mark. She's not quite as tall as the male figures. She is a little bit shorter. I was really hoping that this version of Scarlett would fill her out a little bit more, beef her up a little bit more. But she is on the same level as the original Scarlett that we got with the Classified. And honestly, I didn't realize until we got this one how cartoonish and how comic book this one looked. Like with the color choices, the styling, definitely her face sculpt, where she looks like she looks like a kid in this. And we'll see that when we take a look at the face sculpt on this one. And I realize that this is modeled after an actress's likeness, but she looks much more mature. She looks like she should be wearing this uniform. She looks like she should be part of the team. Whereas this one, I don't know. It was just too cartoony. So let's get a better look at Scarlett here, and we'll take a look at the articulation, and then we'll take a look at the sculpt and the mold and everything else. So starting with articulation here, as always, we'll start at the head and we'll work our way down. That she has some good tilt in the head. She can do a full 360 spin. She can look up. She can look down. Up she can look, and surprisingly, the ponytail doesn't interfere that much, because this is a soft ponytail, and it does move and it does get out of the way. Now, as always, come on. You can pop the head off, but once again, this ball joint is considerably different from the ball joint of the rest of the classified figures, so you can't do any head swapping. You can't put the original Scarlett on this body. You can't put this head on the original Scarlett body. They're just not letting you do that. Now she has a butterfly joint in the shoulders, and this butterfly joint works a lot better than the butterfly joint that's in the original Scarlett. And I do realize that the original Scarlett came out at the beginning of the line, and they're just, perfecting things now. Her arms can come up, not quite to 90, maybe about to 90. They'll do the full 360 spin. Single jointed elbows that can go to 90. Hinge and swivel at the elbow. Swivel at the wrists. And the wrists do pivot. They pivot up and down. Both sides pivot up and down. Very good. Now, she has a waist twist, but she also has an ab crunch that twists. And man, can she get some down and really get some back. That the ab crunch on her, combined with the ball joint at the waist, because she does have a ball joint at the waist. This belt covers it up. But the ball joint at the waist and the ab crunch really get her for some good movement. She has some real good side-to-side as well. Now the legs, they're drop-down legs. They can come out like that. Fit them back in. Right here you can see it. There is a line. There's a thigh swivel. Double-jointed knees. She has a boot cut. So the boot does swivel. And this is something that we really haven't seen on the movie figures. I can't remember if Baroness did it or not, but I remember for a fact that Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow didn't have this boot cut. Ankles can go back, ankles can go forward, and a forward-facing pin for rocker. So there we have all of our articulation for Scarlett. So let's get her back into position, and let's take a look at this sculpt. Okay, so starting with the face sculpt, once again, we'll start with the top and work our way down. This face sculpt, and you can see it's real shiny. I believe there's some photo reel going on, that this looks more mature. This looks more like Scarlett. This looks like a woman who has been in the field. She's a soldier. She's out there in the trenches. And like I said, with this one, it's just too kiddie. It's just too cartoon. She looks way too young. And it's not a bad face sculpt. Don't get me wrong. This one is not bad. It's just not good for Scarlett. It's not good for this figure. I really prefer this one overall. Now, the rest of the sculpt on her is completely new. There's no reuse here. Just like all of the other movie figures. I would have liked to have seen a little bit more paint detail than just this brown. But not having seen the movie, I don't know. Maybe that's what this is supposed to be. But I almost wish these knee pads were done up the same way as her boots, with this metal, this worn metal look, and the same as her armored vest up here. I would have liked to have seen the knee pads in the same paint app. This little splash of red right here on her shoulder, just calling back to, Scarlett's red shoulder. I like that. There's no highlights in the hair. Once again, going back to the original Scarlett, the problem with it is that she has this bright orange hair with like these blonde highlights. Whereas this one is a more darker red. It's a more natural looking red. And her ponytail is wrapped in tight. I like this. This whole thing looks more realistic, more grounded. This looks more like Scarlett is supposed to look. Now, as far as accessories goes, she only has one accessory, and that is this. This is her crossbow. Now, the crossbow for the original Scarlett was a over-engineered mess, and it tended to fall apart because it was in two pieces. This at least looks like a more realistic crossbow, more modern crossbow, but I don't like that it's a pistol grip. I really wish they would have given her the rifle-style crossbow that she came with in the vintage line. Oh no, wait. She did have a pistol grip. It was just a really big pistol grip. Forget I said that. Edit that out, future me. But still, it's too small, I feel. It's not going to do any real damage. And the other thing is, I don't know if this trigger guard is too thick, or if Scarlett's trigger fingers just aren't bent right. Because with most G.I. Joes and Star Wars figures, you can put the gun in, push, and twist, and it goes right into the finger guard. With this one, you can put it in, but when you twist, the finger isn't extended quite right. That you kind of have to work to get it in there. There we go. I mean, she'll get it eventually, and she does look good once she's holding it, but you have to do a little work to get it in. Now, that is her only accessory, her crossbow. However, I did find out that if you have the original Scarlett, and you have her quiver backpack with the 3 knives, this will fit on her. So you just pop the head off, put the arm up, take the crossbow out, put the arm up, slide this down. It's a little bit of a tighter fit because the armor makes her torso a little bit wider. But then you put the head back on, and because of how soft and bendable the ponytail is. The ponytail will ride along the quiver, or you can put it over top if you want to, like the original one. I kind of put it down to the side. And she can wear, she can wear that, and she doesn't look bad wearing it either. See that? It actually looks pretty good on her. So once she has that on, and then you put the crossbow, then you put the crossbow in her hand. Won't worry about the finger now. But when you put the crossbow in her hand, she looks like she's fully outfitted. Plus, there's also the thing that you can get aftermarket, third party, or even additional accessories you may have, outfit her however you want. But if you have the original one, this quiver backpack with the additional knives does fit on her, and that's cool. Okay, one thing that I almost forgot to mention, this belt that she's wearing right here with the pistol holster with no pistol, but with this belt that she's wearing right here, this isn't attached to her. It's loose, just like the original Scarlett figure is. However, it is molded much better to fit in place on her hips. So it's not loose, it's not slopping around, so that when you move her, it moves with her, but it pretty much stays where it's at. So it's not connected, but it is a nice, tight fit, and it's a well-molded piece. Now, for size comparisons, here she is with some classified figures, the original version of herself and Snake Eyes. And you can see that, yeah, she's the same height as the female figures in this line. But one thing that I do like is that when you look at this one and you look at this one, one of the other issues that I had with this is, like with the hourglass waist, the frail arms, everything, she just looks so small. And she doesn't really fit with the rest of the line, that at least this one, they've bulked her out a little bit more. Her legs, the armor fills her out. She looks better with the line, to be completely honest. Here she is with Marvel Legends Psylocke from the Nimrod 3-pack and Black Widow movie series Black Widow. I really like these two together. I've been thinking for a while now Natasha's going to get fitted in with my G.I. Joe collection. Just because I still have them sitting around from my Wonder Woman review, here they are with Mattel DC Multiverse Wonder Woman from 2017 and DC Direct Cheetah. Here she is with McFarlane Toys Mortal Kombat 11 Scorpion and DC Multiverse Wonder Woman 1984. Here she is with Lanyard Toys City Hunter Predator and Xenomorph Drone. And finally, Jazzware's Wicked Cool Toys Spartan Collection Master Chief and Cat. So is this the best version of Scarlett? No, the best version of Scarlett I feel is still yet to come. Is this the best version of Scarlett that we have right now? Yes, in my opinion, it is. I know I haven't been very kind to the movie figures. I know I've had issue with them, but quite honestly, Scarlett was the one that I was looking forward to when I saw the initial lineup of the movie figures. Scarlett was the one that if I was going to buy only one, it was going to be her. Because from the pictures I saw, the way she looked in the box, I was really hoping she was going to be closer to the version of Scarlett that at least I wanted. And I feel that a lot of collectors want. A more mature-looking Scarlett, a more serious-looking Scarlett, one that fits with the line better, and I feel like that we did get that with this version of Scarlett. I still think that the Classified series is eventually going to bring out a third version of her that's going to look more like the vintage figure, just like we've been getting with Roadblock, and we got with the Cobra Officer that's coming out, and just as an example, Barbecue and Breaker that came out definitely have a more vintage feel, a more vintage look, something more akin to what came out in the 80s. So I do feel like that eventually we are going to get that version of Scarlett that a lot of us are still hoping for. The movie figures haven't really been great. Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow were a big letdown. And, Storm Shadow, that's another one that we're finally getting the vintage look for Storm Shadow coming out next year. So you see they are starting to put out those figures. Scarlett may be in the works. Who knows? We do have one more movie figure to take a look at, and I feel like I am going to get her just to complete the collection of the movie figures, and that is Akiko. So I will be getting her. We will be taking a look at her. So until that happens, play well, everyone. Stay safe, stay healthy, and as always, thank you for watching.
Its purpose, to defend human freedom against Cobra, a ruthless terrorist organization determined to rule the world.
He never gives up, he'll stay till the fight's won. G.I. Joe will dare. G.I. Joe!